What is going on, everyone, and welcome to Around the Metaverse, our weekly show where we bring together some of the best content creators from the blockchain and NFT gaming community to talk about all the recent news and give you guys everything you need to know to stay up to date. My name's Adam. I'll be your host today, but more importantly, we got our amazing group of guests back again after a hiatus last week. So up in the house, first and foremost, we got CryptoStache, man. How's it going?
I could complain, but I'm not going to. I know that everyone is very sad about this crash, but long-term thinking, my friends. We'll talk more.
3 to 5 year time horizon, baby. That's the key, right?
Yep.
But next up, we got Kagi back and juicy as always. Juicing as always. How's it going?
Everything good, man. Glad to be back. I missed the last show, so I apologize. Now I'm back. And yeah, the market is red, but in reality, if you had some money on the sidelines, you should be good right now. You should be good.
True. No, everyone wants to plan for it, but never takes their own advice, right?
True.
Up next, fam, we got Sammy Snake rejoining us again. I guess from a few shows ago. How's it going, man? Thank you for coming on tonight.
Oh, living the dream. I never look at charts anyway. Having too much fun to look at charts on a daily basis. Too many exciting things happening in NFTs, so I don't care.
When you're in NFTs and play to earn games, man, who needs charts, right?
I used to, the last time it happened, I was, very sad. Now I don't even notice. Who cares?
Right, yeah. And last but certainly not least, we got Zueljin in the house. How's it going, my friend?
Hey, everybody. I'm doing all right, man. Feeling a lot better after a little vacation and a little bout of COVID, but I'm back, and it's time to buy some crypto.
Little R&R, and time to get back in the game.
Yes,
but yeah, we got a great show for you guys lined up today. Before we get into things, for all you guys watching out there, don't forget to smash that like button and hit subscribe. We brought all these guys here for you today. We're going to be bringing you all the top news and basically everything you need to know for the next couple weeks here. So don't forget to tell YouTube how much you love us. But we're going to be talking about Axie Infinity. Is it saved? OpenSea versus looks rare. And, it's official, apparently, that gamers hate the metaverse, right? So we're going to be talking a little bit about why, gamers in traditional gaming is completely against NFTs. But to start things off, let's talk about Axie Infinity. I know there was the recent Lunar New Year event that just got launched where, people will actually be able to release their Axies to go on some kind of cute adventure where they never return, right? And in return for that, if you release your Axie, you're guaranteed one of several different land items that I believe are cosmetic, and then also a couple entries into a raffle where you might be able to win some sweet prizes. But we'll get into that in a second. I want to ask you, Stache, do you think this Axie releasing event is going to do anything for the economy, say SLP, for example?
I'm not sure how much real relief it's going to bring, honestly. I think that it's a step in the right direction. I don't know that it's going to be like, oh my gosh, in this month, we've seen a significant change. And I think that's what a lot of people are probably thinking is going to happen, and I just don't see that being the case particularly. I do think that it's a step in the right direction, but I don't know that we're going to see that. I think that it's going to be a mild effect, in particular with that coupled with just general downturn in the markets. I think that's even going to, affect it even greater and not give as much, boost as we may have hoped. So I think that's kind of where we're at with that, and we just put out a video today, kind of talking about it a little bit more in depth as well. But yeah, I'm not sure if it's going to be a massive. I mean, but we still have 30 days. We still have almost 30 days to go for this to see what it's going to the 20th of February, so we still got some time. So I don't know. It could go either way, I guess, at the end by the end.
I know, right? Imagine if SLP the next 30 days, while the entire crypto market is losing $800 billion, it's just all going to SLP. SLP to $1.
I don't know if I see that in the future of SLP, to be perfectly honest, even with the burdens going on.
I saw Kagi's video, and after I saw what it actually was, I just turned the volume low and went do something else just so Kagi would get the watch time and wouldn't get penalized for that bullshit they call an update. That was I was like,
all right. Tell us how you feel, Zueljin.
Go, Zueljin.
Tell us how you feel.
Tell me how you really feel. Yeah.
It's just like I'm older than everybody else, so I was just like, this is some bullshit. What is this, man? This ain't an update. So I mean, that was just my.
I mean, you're not looking forward to getting cosmetic items for your land. Wait, Zueljin, let me ask you this: do you have Axies to release?
Well, I could. They're so dang cheap. Like you can just get a dozen of them if you want. But they're not like I didn't release any of them just because I don't see a whole lot of value. I understood Kagi's point. Like they can appreciate in value and stuff like that. But as far as speculation in the NFT world, and especially at Axie Infinity, I kind of look at tangible stuff, and I know people care for it and stuff like that. But it really didn't present a whole lot of value for me personally. I didn't take the bait.
Zueljin is gonna, if they were on Shark Tank and Zueljin was Mark Cuban, that's gonna, yeah, I'm out.
I wouldn't call nobody out for liking what they like. I'm not saying it's not cool. I just don't think it's very relevant to their to SL.
Fair enough. All right, Kagi, I want to come to you now because, like, in contrast to what Zueljin is saying, I want to ask you: do you think they incentivize this burn event enough? Like, are they giving are the rewards sufficient to incentivize people to release their Axies?
From the outside right now, it looks like no. There's no incentive to push further, right? Like to burn more Axies. Like this is like, it looks like decorations and stuff like that. But there is something. I've been in Axie for like 2 years or whatever, and I know the Axie team and I know how they behave. And this could be one of those things that right now they're not saying what those items do. And later on, they bring utility to it. And the reason they don't want to do that is so that people that have a lot of Axies, like, have a shit ton of money, kind of capitalize on these items that might have certain utilities in the future. So they might not want to say, no, this is pure speculation, but I've seen Axie do things like this, right? But at face value, no, like there's, there's nothing there for you to say, like, I want to keep burning. I burned, I think, like 90 Axies. But I did it for fun. I did it for content, right? And I had fun doing it. And that's it. That's about it. But I don't have a further incentive to keep burning Axies. So no, I don't think there's enough incentives, at least from what we can read in the webpage right now, to keep burning. No.
Well, yeah, and I was going to say too, the rarest item that you could possibly get, and you're guaranteed one per each Axie, is the Crimson Tiger for a 1% chance. So, I mean, reasonably, it might be worthwhile to burn up to 100 Axies, but then if not at that point, right, then and you don't have all of the items.
Well, like, but you're also getting raffle tickets too, and I mean, if you hit one of those raffle items, man, I mean that could be pretty big right there. You're looking at like a massive recoup from however many Axies you probably burned. If you hit one of those top tier items, some of those AOC coins, or like a kitsune.
Oh, you're rich as fuck.
Or like a kitsune or something.
I mean, giveaway though. Like, how many people play the lottery here? Like, I know,
but that's what I'm saying. But see, this is one of those things though, where because they haven't incentivized it enough, not as many people are going to do it, and so those prizes are going to be a lot more rare. I think because you're right, because the incentivization is not super awesome. But there is some possibility that these items will be very hotly coveted, because every time when I play a game that's in pre-release, right, or it's in an alpha or beta state, those items I got during that time that were limited, that only a few people got because the game didn't pick up popularity or wasn't massively played, and then those items are always more coveted because they're early rare items that less people got. And that's one of the things I will see here. I think that this is the main kind of difference, is that, Axie Infinity is kind of still in that early stage. And so those items could kind of act like that. And then, like I said, then the raffle is a bonus. Like, if you end up being lucky, like there is, some really big prizes in that raffle. And that's, I really think, that's where the good stuff is at. And, hopefully what they'll do is like give away more, like they just surprise, we're gonna give away more than what we said and pick more winners or something, that would be great. But once again, like all,
I mean, there's already 80,000 Axies, right? So there's 80,000 items already. So, yeah. I mean,
imagine if somehow imagine if somehow they were able to give like maybe you got like 0.25 AXS if like you got a random like you burned a random lucky Axie, right, or something like that, or if they did something cool like that. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. They might bring utility to it in the future. Who knows? Maybe some other events, with those items. But it's speculation.
But Sammy Snake, I want to get your opinion on this, man. Do you think, like, in comparison to what we've been talking about with this burning event for the Lunar New Year, like, do you think there's more outside of this that they should be doing for the ecosystem, like for SLP, for example?
So, like, there's no way that they release an update like this that, like, unless they've got something much longer term planned. This is a stopgap solution. Obviously, they've got a long term solution on how they probably have more economists than like some small countries nowadays with the amount of money that flood through Axie, right? So they've clearly got a team that's identified right how they're going to put this right. But this is a short term, right? We've got to get it moving. We've got to get something. My only concern is when you give like out a lot of stuff, the people that receive a lot of the stuff, they become like, they'll put a lot of pressure constantly on, right, make this worth my while, make this worth my while. And then you do it enough times and then, they keep stacking up and people are always getting bored, right? Well, I've got this pre-item, this needs to be valuable. So that's my concern when you do lots of short-term stuff. But they obviously have a long-term plan, but they're probably just like, right, this is like 6 months away. Everything is 6 months away in crypto. So like, they're like, we need to do something now. This is what they've come up with. Let people try and gamble their way out of it. Some people will hit the rewards and they'll tell all the people. And the people that burn their stuff and don't get anything, they probably won't tell anyone. So maybe they'll get some positive reaction.
Fair. All right. I'll give you that one, but I'll also say this. I mean, Axie Land, it's been 6 months out for what? 2 years? Right?
I mean, it's every game. Every game suffers from the same thing. It just takes ages.
Yeah. Well, this is a good moment to tell you that Illuvium has a private beta and it's looking pretty good, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just saying, like, it's looking pretty good. We're gonna have some competition coming up here.
Yeah, new games to look out for, man. And
we're definitely, I was gonna say we're definitely on that cusp, man, of some of these games that have been in development for the last year or so, getting ready to kind of give their first offerings. So Axie Infinity has had plenty of time, man, and I think they're kind of losing a little bit of that first mover, kind of not first mover, but really like the first big game where they had 1 million plus players. They had this advantage, and they've kind of blown it a little bit. And kind of similar to like Alien Worlds, man. Alien Worlds was huge on Wax. They had this first mover advantage. They were like the top project, and they just couldn't continue to deliver after their initial success. And we've seen this kind of happen a couple times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just want to clarify there that Axie has delivered on other things like the running blockchain on the back end, but I do agree with you, Stache, that they just almost like took it for granted.
Yeah,
like, 3 million players. Getting 3 million players in a traditional game is hard as shit. Yeah. Like hard as fuck. Well, and I was playing Halo, bro, and Halo doesn't even have more than 20,000 active daily users. That's a AAA game. Yeah. It's insane, bro. I thought they would have like 200, 500K, and then I looked at the numbers. I was like, what is going on?
That is crazy. I mean,
there's a lot of competition. Games is so saturated now. There's more games than gamers now.
Yeah, that's true. Well, because everyone's trying to get a slice of that pie.
And the big players, like the people with huge budgets that are doing marketing and stuff, the projects that they invest in too are gonna do very well. Rebelbots just got picked up for investors by Ubisoft and Overwolf. Ubisoft's account has like 6.8 million Twitter followers. Something like that can get so much exposure compared to some of these companies. I follow some pretty big crypto games, and some of them just have like 100,000 followers. 8.6 million is a lot of people for a tweet, man. And these celebrities getting into some of these NFTs and stuff. The traditional games aren't getting that.
Well, and you got to look at too, even with big breakouts, like you guys look at Thedan Arena and what can happen with the game when the economy isn't well thought out, but moves at a very fast pace. Like Axie Infinity's economy was not well thought out either, but the pace of the game, it moved in a way where the economy, it took a long time for it to kind of catch up with the amount of players. Thedan Arena was like that. And so I think they're still struggling, man, with issues with that. And they have like 5-6 million players, or a million accounts at least. They may not be active, but you know, so many people that kind of flooded in, and it just, you know, when you don't have the economy worked out ahead of time and scaled to that kind of amount of people, it becomes a real big issue. And we're seeing that now with these games who didn't think through that. You know, Axie didn't think through it. Alien Worlds didn't think through it. Thetan Arena didn't think all the way through.
I still don't know how to earn in Thetan Arena, and I love it. I play it daily, and I still don't know how to earn it.
It's a fun. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like outside of the actual earning part of it, it's still a fun MOBA. I mean, like, you know, I look at it's like any other MOBA
I've ever played, honestly.
Yeah, like I think it's fun to play. But yeah, the earning mechanics and stuff of how they did it, you know, I feel like they really just, you know, they didn't do a really good job.
Shot themselves in the foot in a sense.
Yeah, a little bit. Like I think they just didn't think through how it was going to play out and how quickly and why and all the numbers and that's an important thing for a blockchain-based game. You know, you really have to have those things solid because there's money on the line, and that could tank your entire project if you don't get that right. So,
yeah, and Zueljin, just to touch on that quickly before we go to our next topic, the Ubisoft comment. We're going to go in the last segment to talk about their 6.8 million followers and how they really feel about them implementing these NFTs, right? But let's go to our next segment here and talking about you know, everybody trying to get a piece of that pie, right? Our next topic is going to be talking about OpenSea versus LooksRare. So you know, maybe it might be a surprise to some of you guys watching out there, but it's no surprise to us that recently we had a new NFT marketplace pop up on the scene in a very big way. It was sort of the season of airdrops, if you will, and we had an OpenSea competitor come out basically by airdropping anyone who's transacted on OpenSea to a certain level with their own token, the Looks token. And some people got massive airdrops of like several thousands of dollars, you know, in the traditional airdrop fashion. And this LooksRare NFT marketplace is a lot more catered towards the buyer or the community in a sense, where people have been complaining about OpenSea for some time now for really not paying attention to their community, not bringing value back to their community. LooksRare did that right off the bat and is continuing to do so in their staking program and their sort of incentivization program behind that. I want to ask you guys, Kagi, let me start with you. What do you think LooksRare did right during their launch, and like, what would you say was something that they could have done better?
Definitely their tokenomics are amazing, right? 75% of the tokens go back to the community through staking rewards and trading rewards. Then 20% goes to the team, and to the 10% to the team and 10% to the core developers, which at the end of the day is them as well right now. So it's 20 for them as of right now, unless they hire more people, et cetera, et cetera. And then I think 5% was between liquidity and the rest early investors. Now, those early investors are very, very key because these are big influencers that have a lot of money and they have no incentives to sell, right? Like they didn't get into this to dump it, right? To dump it. I mean, you got somebody like Coco Bear. This guy doesn't dump. He doesn't dump on projects. You never see his wallet dump on a project. Never. Like if he sells, it's gonna be when the project succeeds. But he'll never go like and dump the tokens, right? I mean, yes, there are some. I know, I know Stache is like, but at least Coco, I tell you, because I know Coco, like I interacted with Coco before. This guy does not do that. When Coco goes into a project, he's there for the long run for sure. Like this guy, he doesn't need it. He doesn't need to be dumping. So that's that. The bad thing was the trading rewards. The trading rewards that they have incentivizes people to wash trade. And I think what they really needed to do there was lock people up, right, on the staking and you know, make sure that people are not like putting money in and then taking it out whenever it's beneficial. So like lock them up with a weighted reward, right? So you lock it up for 6 months, 1 year. The more you lock it up, the more rewards you get from the daily distribution, like things like that. Like they could have done some things to fix that. But overall, I think it's good for the community.
Yeah, and I mean, I hope that we continue to see them around, right? I mean, I think that they're probably the number one competitor now for something like OpenSea. But Zueljin, I want to ask you, like, in your opinion, them being a legitimate competitor to OpenSea, I'd say, do you think that people will actually use it? Like, do you think it's going to be actually competitive in taking market share away from OpenSea? And like, why or why not?
I really don't have a good opinion on this, an unbiased opinion. I have confetti hands. I sold the looks before it even hit the transaction was finished. I was
Zueljin hacked the blockchain. Yeah, he forked the blockchain to get the transaction.
It's an token, right? So I speculate with BSC tokens and Matic tokens. This is what I do because there's no gas fees. You can play around with them. You can watch it by the minute if you want to, and you can get rid of it. I think looks has a good place as their competition. And honestly, any competition is good competition. I think they have a high quality project. I just didn't really look at much. And to be honest with you, I haven't looked at any looks listings since I got it. Some of the people in the Discord start looking around or whatever. I haven't shopped on looks yet. Almost every collection I've looked at has been on OpenSea. It hasn't sat with me yet as a contender. Maybe it's just because I'm habitually just looking at OpenSea, but I'm kind of like that with Solana marketplaces too. I don't shop Solana projects unless I get a recommendation from a friend or a project reaches out to me and wants to talk about it, and it's a gaming project. But so I don't really have a relevant opinion as far as because I haven't looked at it that much, but. From the little bit that I did look at, they got a nice model together. I think the guy that started it was Pranksy, and Pranksy's been in the NFT space forever. So I don't know. I think their marketing was really good for it. I think their community really hyped for it and got some people excited about it. Ain't nothing like giving people money to make them happy about it. You know, I like them. I respect them. I'm glad they bought half a strong note for me. I'm ecstatic about it.
I mean, yeah, man, they must be doing some things right? But Sammy, let me ask you, how do you think like OpenSea is going to respond to this if they do it all, right? Do you think they're going to do anything to, kind of show that maybe they're thinking about their customers a little bit more?
Do you know what the sad thing is? I actually don't think that they need to do anything. I think they'll just do nothing. They don't need to do anything, and people will still use it. But because like everyone's very connected on the Twitter space, and they see all the good community stuff that LooksRare have got coming out, but the average person just doesn't care. Like, and they'll just keep using OpenSea, and it doesn't really matter. And that OpenSea is that kind of brand that you can see, big investment coming in and probably get publicly listed at some stage. And I honestly think they're not really even raise their eyebrows, and it's sad. And maybe they'll add maybe one or two features, but that's just the state of it. People are fickle. It's hard to get people to move marketplaces, and a lot of people they don't even go on Twitter. Like again, like they'll just use whatever, right? So they'll just happy with OpenSea and they'll stick with it. So I'd be very surprised if we actually see much different. The thing is, in 6 months' time, they'll probably think, we'll just blown over. Maybe some other marketplaces will come along and also compete for LooksRare's hold, because it's more likely a new marketplace will eat into LooksRare's market share than it will into OpenSea. So honestly, I think they'll do nothing.
Coinbase is going to eat at everything. Yeah. With a credit card, you can buy NFTs with a credit card. It's done. That's true. On ramp with credit card is gonna own. They got 3 million people waiting to buy NFTs on Coinbase.
I'm one of those 3 million people, and I don't know that I'm actually going to buy any NFTs on Coinbase, but I still want access. Damn it!
You know how? That's the difference. You know how those 3 million people, most of them probably have never bought an NFT in their life. They just heard about it on Twitter or saw a TikTok about it. Now, if they could whip out their Visa and do it, though, it's going to be crazy.
Well, in comparison to Coinbase having the waitlist open for NFTs, FTX already has that. And like they have Solana integrated, they have Ethereum integrated. You can pay with your credit card through FTX Pay. And I mean, I don't know.
FTX, though.
Well,
I know who FTX is, but comparatively to Coinbase.
Right. Okay, all right, fair.
and that's fair. The thing, and I think that the big thing actually that Coinbase is doing in comparison is that they're really they're working with creators and bringing people on board, and that's a big thing when you look at like a new marketplace well, who's going to mint on your marketplace? You know, what projects are you going to be able to onboard? Well, Coinbase has that big name and that big money, and they're working with creators and getting people on board. So that's gonna help drive that traffic. I think FTX really did nothing. Like they launched it as a feature, but they didn't really promote it with anybody. There weren't any big drops on it. They didn't get any projects to really commit, and so that's the big difference there. And like, you know, LooksRare is kind of the same way. Like they didn't necessarily, they're not getting like anything exclusive. It's basically just OpenSea, but with rewards, because it's literally, you know, the exact same type of interface. You're getting some rewards, which is great. So I think it was smart because they saw an opportunity to be able to, you know, kind of take a little bit of OpenSea's slice. But, you know, are they doing anything that much different besides just, you know, having these rewards? Not really. You know, they haven't kicked it up with like, you know, a multi-chain marketplace or doing some other features that are requested. They did get the one feature that's the most requested, which is having some rewards. But as Kagi was saying, you know, whenever you institute these types of rewards, in particular for trading, wash trading is just abound and people are abusing it. So eventually what's going to happen is what happens with like the Rary token, where it just gets wash traded to shit, man. And it's just not as valuable or as useful as a lot of people want. And then they got to make a bunch of changes to it down the road. But it gave them a really good solid launch with a huge airdrop for everybody and things like that, because that's what, you know, anytime we see that, it blows up and people will like want that free money. So it incentivizes them to come check it out. But are they going to stay long term? I don't think so. I think that you're right. I think Coinbase will draw a lot of those people away. And, you know, I think a lot of people will just end up, you know, going back to OpenSea because it's what they know, it's what they're familiar. And then the people who are not as ingrained in the NFT scene as we are, those, like Sammy said, those people don't even get it. They didn't even hear about LooksRare, and they never will. They never will.
Yeah, so. And they never will. And I mean, I guess you kind of said my answer, the question I was going to come to you with, Stache, but I mean, I guess I'll ask it anyway. Like, in terms of OpenSea and LooksRare, like, do you see either of them still being here in 5 years or even 10 years? Like, what do you expect them to do in that time, if anything?
I mean, I think OpenSea will definitely be here in 5 years, 10 years for sure as well. They have solidified themselves as the, you know, de facto place to get NFTs. A lot of people that have come into NFTs in 2021, they equate OpenSea with NFTs. That's it. OpenSea is NFTs. There is nothing else. They may not even know that much about Ethereum. They just know OpenSea, NFTs, Ethereum, do it there, you know, and that's it. And like they got their Ethereum on Coinbase. They got to OpenSea. That's NFTs to them. So
OpenSea is the Axie Infinity of NFTs.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, there you go.
Or like Ethereum spelled out like the wrong way, like Ethereum.
IEUM, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think that's kind of where we'll see it. And like, will LooksRare be around, you know, in 5 years? I don't know, maybe. How successful will they be? I'm not sure. You know, in the struggle here, this kind of like NFT marketplace explosion. You know, only a few are going to rise to the top, man. We've seen a couple other ones. I think, honestly, when you look at competition for OpenSea, I think a marketplace like Immutable is actually more of a competition than LooksRare is to OpenSea. Immutable and that platform is drawing a lot of really great projects. They're getting a lot of great content creators coming there that are unique. So, like I said, it's not just a copy of OpenSea with the same kind of shit on it. It's people actually wanting to go to this new experience, and it's giving you a gasless experience as well. So I think that's huge.
Yeah, and I mean, there's no reason to say that like marketplaces that are on other chains besides Ethereum won't come to Ethereum eventually too. Because like I know we've covered in the past a little bit talking about, say, like Fractal, for example, which is Twitch co-founder Justin, shoot, I forget his last name.
Justin Bieber.
Yeah, Justin Bieber.
It's not Justin
Bieber. Justin Bieber is coming out with an NFT marketplace. You heard it from Kagi first.
He's back.
No, but yeah, the co-founder of Twitch coming out with a gaming-focused marketplace on Solana, right? And I don't know. I'm not saying that going to ETH is like for sure in their roadmap, but like who's to say one of those marketplaces doesn't blow up, become multi-chain?
If I was LooksRare,
capture all of gaming.
Yeah. I'll be doing exactly what Fractal is doing. I wouldn't lose any time. I proposed it right away to LooksRare. Yo, implement this little game called Fancy Birds, which is like Flappy Birds, right? Put it on LooksRare. Boom, you do that. then you collaborate with Uniswap or SushiSwap. Bring the swap right into LuxRare. Just bring value on top of value. And a lot of these devs, at the end of the day, they don't understand marketing. They understand being devs, right? And that's marketing right there. You reach out to SushiSwap or Uniswap and say, yo, you guys want to implement the swap right here through an API or whatever. Boom, now you got more value on top of that. And then bring games, copy what Fractal is doing, and just move quick on that. And it's just, a lot of the time they're like, nah, we're trying to make the platform better, which I understand, but you also got to make those marketing moves. And a lot of these devs, also in gaming in general, in crypto, they're lost in marketing. They're lost. They just don't understand it. So,
well, they don't not only understand marketing, but if we're talking about traditional games even, which is a good segue into what we're talking about next year, they don't understand anything about crypto or NFTs or play to earn at all.
Not from a consumer standpoint, at least. I'll feel you on that. I second that.
So yeah, if you guys haven't heard, it is now official, according to this article, that gamers hate the metaverse, right? Traditional gamers hate the metaverse. They don't want anything to do with NFTs. It's all a scam. So basically, let me read a few snippets from this article for you guys. So survey says developers are definitely not interested in crypto or NFTs. They basically did a survey going through a bunch of traditional game studios, polling both gamers and the devs at game studios what their interest was in implementing cryptocurrency as a payment tool and implementing NFTs within their games. And almost 80% of everyone said we have absolutely no interest in it whatsoever. And the author quoted some of them even saying, how hasn't this been identified as an obvious pyramid scheme? Burn them to the ground, ban everyone involved with them. This is coming from apparently someone who works at an NFT company currently and is quitting to get away. And even saying things is like that NFTs are going to drive a wedge right through the heart of the gaming industry and ruin it in a sense. So I want to get your guys' opinions on what you think of this. Zueljin, let me ask you, because you have some experience in the traditional gaming space as a content creator. Why do you think traditional game developers view NFTs as like a scam or a pyramid scheme?
Ignorance.
Ignorance? Fair enough.
Look, one thing is nobody that's not in the space knows what's going on because of those marketing things that we talked about. Like there's really they got celebrities and a lot of people that talk about it online and influencers and stuff like that, but we're nowhere near mass adoption. And as far as the disgruntled employees from different organizations talking bad about NFTs and stuff, go talk to a Walmart employee about anything that their company does and see how much they like it. Like nobody knows what the hell they want until a value is presented to them in a way that they're interested in it. Kagi doesn't like card games because he's never found one that he likes or that his audience likes, but show him one that makes him a lot of money that actually he likes. I didn't like MOBAs until I started playing whatever the game that we were just talking about was.
Thetan Arena.
Yeah, Thetan Arena. It stands to reason that a lot of people don't understand. Stache and I talked about a little while back, the Twitch audience, for instance. We had what was it was an advertisement for what's the game that you play a lot on your show, Stache, with the mini games and stuff like that.
Blancos.
Yeah, Blancos. Blancos came up on was it E3 or something like that, and it got crapped on by the audience, dude. And Blancos, we all know that Blancos is like in the space, like it's nowhere near the traditional crypto gaming environment that you would think. If somebody saw me playing Alien Worlds, I can understand them saying that this is a load of crap because it's not like a traditional game, but all in all, I really don't think, I think people just haven't seen it.
Wait, but with all due respect, Blancos are a bunch of pussies.
Whoa.
That's the truth. That's the truth. That's the truth right there. Hot take. Whoa. Here's the thing. I like the game, but they're like in between. One day they're NFTs, the other day they don't want to be part of it. Like, bro, you either are in this or you're not. Like, you got to decide. One of the two. You can't be like playing like 1 foot here and 1 foot here. Like, come on now.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you can cash out you can get money.
But they don't embrace it. They don't embrace it. It's like a half.
I don't know, man. I mean, they have a full-fledged in-game marketplace that like is really easy to use, and the cash out thing is so smooth.
They're basically using wax
until
like
NFTs
they're using
started
EOS.
to blow up.
They call them NFTs in the pre-sale when I bought them in the founder sale. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but you know, it was always like, you know, this. It was always like in between. Always in between.
No, okay. So hold on. Let me. Okay, what you mean when you say in between? What they have done, I think, with Blankos is I think they've done a good job of obscuring the fact that like they're not saying it's a crypto game, it's crypto Blankos, you know what I'm saying? They're just making a game that has that technology that powers it in the back end. It doesn't need to be like NFT, they're the best. Oh, we love crypto. They do it and it works in the background just like any good technology should work. And that's the problem I think that a lot of gamers are putting the focus on these days is that they're seeing NFTs in a very superficial way because that's what a bunch of influencers are showing them. They're just seeing like how people are spending $1 million on stupid CryptoPunks and PFPs, and it looks like a rich man's thing, and it just makes it, to them, it looks like a scam. But the fact of the matter is NFT technology and blockchains that kind of power behind the scenes. This is technology that's just replacing shit that is already in video games right now. We already have NFTs in video games. They're just not called NFTs and they don't use blockchain. But people have skins in games and they don't own them, but they're still illegally trading them outside of the game, risking being banned from the game and losing everything. There are very few games that allow this to actually happen, like CSGO, where you can trade skins back and forth. I mean, skin, NFT, it doesn't really matter what you call it. It works the exact same way. So if I have a skin from CSGO that is worth $100,000, and then I sell it to what someone says is the stupider guy because that's the only reason to have it, well, I mean, not necessarily, because it has a use case and somebody covets that digital item for a reason. Now, what technology powers it in the back end really doesn't matter, but this is a better technology.
Can you verify the skins right now on Blankos?
Right, and that's what I'm saying. And that's the problem, is that I played games like, I'll say my most recent one was Fallout 76. It's an online multiplayer game, and there was a bunch of high-end weapons that people were duping and then selling to other people on forums. But they're duped fake weapons. And so there's so many things that blockchain technology and NFTs could help solve on both sides of the fence that it just amazes me that gamers still are calling it a scam. They think, oh, you put money into things and it ruins stuff. It's going to drive a wedge. Are you kidding me? These things are already there. We're not saying NFTs belong in every single game and blockchain should be powering every single experience, but where it makes sense, yes. Except and it definitely does in multiplayer games.
Yeah. Okay, maybe I was a little bit too harsh.
Yeah, Stache dropped the hammer and Kagi backed up.
We have people in our chat right now.
I recognize.
People just in general, they just want to cast it down as bad or witchcraft or whatever. And it's like Stache said, it needs to be where it needs to be, and it doesn't need to be in every single thing.
Yeah,
you know. There's a lot of stigmas, and for good reason as well. You know, the way they're marketed, like you said, and also the quality of a lot of blockchain projects that get this, you know, this game did 1,000x, you know, that sort of attention or whatever. People that say we're not real gamers because we don't know what we're talking about. I've been playing games since Atari 2600. Y'all not real gamers.
Bro, I play old school RuneScape to this day. I don't know who's calling me not a gamer. Like,
oh, you're wasting your time, bro. What are you doing?
What do you mean? What am I doing? I got more GP than you, dog. What are you talking about?
Oh, I'm sure you do.
You may have more. You may have bigger crypto bags than me, but I have. Whenever
I didn't say that.
Whenever Jagex puts RuneScape on the blockchain, I'm gonna be rich, and everyone else is I'm gonna be the king, right? But
hold on, just a quick, you know, some of the stuff, the chatter I'm seeing here in the chat, you know, a lot of people saying, well, what about, you know, wash trading, and what about you know, people who are trying to money launder? You don't think that shit's happening right now with game items in the black market? You honestly think there aren't people doing the exact same thing right now with game items for current existing popular games? Tell me that right now. If you think that it's not the fact that's happening right now, then I don't know, man. You're clearly not much of a gamer, but it is 100% happening. If it was happening on chain, you could track it, you could understand exactly how things work, and you can find solutions for those problems. But in an unregulated market like this, with no real solution and no back end to be able to verify things like that, there's no hope anyways. So it's already happening. This is a better way to keep a handle on things.
I'm happy if they money launder. As long as the money ends up on my side, I pay my taxes. What the hell is the problem?
Yeah.
I don't understand why people complain. Money laundering. All right, you're trying to act virtuous now, like, oh, shouldn't money laundering, wash trading. Look, you know what? Wash trade all you want and look swear. Guess what? I still get my rewards. Yeah. Keep wash trading. Good.
Kaki's like, I'm out of a job if you guys start banning them.
Like, what are we talking about here? I don't care if it ends up on my side. As long as I don't do the money laundering, I'm good, right? I'm not doing any crime. I'm just selling my item. Somebody decided to pay a shit ton of money to be able to, kind of launder that money or whatever. I don't care. If it ends up on my side, we're good. So whatever.
Well, Sammy Snake, let me ask you, man, as someone who kind of has their own game or who does have their own game, in blockchain game Nova Rally on Wax, how do you feel about this? Do you think that traditional gamers are missing the mark here?
It is concerning, the initial reaction of people, but I think the media plays a big part in that. If you ask the same people a series of questions about, would you like complete control over your in-game assets? They would say yes. Would you want to make it easy to sell your in-game assets for real money in case you need it? They'd say yes. So all you need to do is stop making it all about NFTs, as Stache said, and it's fine. People they push this negative narrative against NFTs. They're like, and every article to do with NFTs, it's like, oh, NFTs, which by the way, may be linked to being bad for the environment. And they just slip that in there. It's just in your head. They're like, wait, I never thought about that. What? Oh, NFTs are bad for the environment. Wait, why did you say that? It's like, if walking, if there's an article about walking, which is linked with injury. Wait, what?
Yeah, exactly. People definitely get injured while walking, guys. So you gotta be careful.
And then in their head, the next time they read about walking, they're like, well, walking's linked with injury, and that's how it starts. And it snowballs, and suddenly all the people have been misinformed. So the only way, NFTs have a negative connotation. You can't get around that, right?
Right. Yeah.
So change the topic of the conversation. Just don't call it NFTs anymore. Digital assets, a new thing. Hey, those NFTs, those are the bad guys. We don't want those anymore. We want digital assets. Just rebrand it. And a couple of years, it won't even matter because it'll be so tightly integrated. Let them hate it. They'll be using it. In 5 years' time, they won't even know. And we'll probably all be rich because we were the early adopters. That's just how these things go.
Oh, yeah. And it's funny, man, too, because game studios and developers calling it a pyramid scheme when even if it is a pyramid scheme, they'd be at the top of the pyramid.
Life's a pyramid scheme.
Well, right now they are. They are on the top of the pyramid. Okay, here's how it traditionally goes. Game is free to play. You download for free. This is great. Brand new, awesome game, free to play. And then, they talk about, okay, well, but if you want to do this certain thing, and make your character look this cool, you got to buy these skins.
Paywall.
Right, exactly. Then you hit paywall, right? For something extra. It's always an extra, something cool, usually cosmetic. And then you play the game for 8 months. And then in the 8 months, the amount of people playing the game nosedives. Boo, over 8 months' time. You get bored. And you move on to the next game, and now all the money you spent on those skins or extra things or in-game currency, whatever it may be, all that is now, it's gone. You're never getting it back. The company has kept it, and now you have moved on. And this is the format that they have got you used to and trained to be okay with.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean,
go ahead.
What I was getting at, though, is just that, so once they can trade those skins away, too, in most NFT scenarios, the devs then get a piece of that transaction too. So still even then on top of the pyramid, you know what I mean? Not really sacrificing anything, if not gaining something, right? Extra. Because like you said, people are going to get bored of the game anyway, right?
And I mean, to be honest, it's to really even call it a pyramid scheme is not even correct either, because for a traditional pyramid scheme, what you really need is for it to continue to function, whatever it is, whether it's a game, a marketing thing, whatever, you need to continually be having new people and more new people coming in all the time. And that new people playing that are going to invest money. And with the game, that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. I've definitely played games where it's waxed and waned, where games have gone up and there's been a lot of people playing and then have gone down. But I'm still playing. And so as long as you still enjoy the game and have fun doing it, the financial aspect of it is not going to be the biggest aspect for you. And that I truly believe is what makes it good.
I want to tap into the financial aspect because I talked to I had the opportunity to talk to like the head of YouTube Gaming, and he has like this both sides. He could see like the traditional companies, and he's very like well invested in at least in time within the NFT gaming. And he told me it really comes down to this: all the traditional games right now need the whales that spend money on skins, that spend money, like they need, that's how they survive.
Right, yeah, right? That's how they make a bulk of their profits. But with the free-to-play games,
those whales are coming here. Those whales are coming to the NFT gaming. So what's going to happen is that, yes, the developers might not want to come to NFT gaming, but they're going to be forced to come by default because the people like Coco, for example, that has been investing in games since like Entropia, right? Buying planets and all this crap, are coming to NFT gaming. So now, guess what? They're going to have to adapt and start building here because the money is flowing here, even if the player base is not here. So by default, they're going to have to come build here because the money's flowing here. So the people are putting a lot of money into these games and they keep it afloat, especially mobile games. They're coming to NFT games because they can verify their assets, and it's just way more fun to spend money here. And at the end of the day, they're going to start building here no matter what, even if the gamers don't want it. They're going to follow the money at the end of the day. So
we need Ninja to come to start streaming NFT play to earn games, and that's when the trickle down starts happening.
No, don't bring him. Don't bring him. Let him let him over there.
Don't bring him. Stay in traditional games, yeah. Ninja. But all right, guys, we're running out of time here. I want to thank you guys for joining us again on this wonderful Monday for Around the Metaverse. I want to thank you guys and gals watching out there for supporting us and listening to all the news we brought you today. Don't forget to smash that like button and hit subscribe. And then don't forget to check out each of our guests' channels in the description below. We love to, what's the NFT and play to earn community about if not supporting each other? And that's always what we try to do here. So check out all these guys. We really love the content they put out and appreciate them coming on the show for us. And that's all for tonight, folks. See you next Monday for another episode of Around the Metaverse.
Bye.
We out.